Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Faiza again from IBT. Today we are going to cover some reading tips. First of all, fill in the blanks types of questions are very common in IELTS exam, especially in the reading module. Now these type of questions come with different instructions. For example, in one case they may ask you to use only one word to write your answer in the blanks. In other cases, they may ask you to choose no more than 2 words and or a number. My recommendation to you would be to read the question carefully and if necessary, just highlight it or circle it with your pencil or pen, just so you don't forget how to answer the question. Many a times what happens is in the passage, they may give you something like this, theories of mathematics. But if they ask you to choose no more than 2 words and or a number, you cannot just copy the phrase and paste it on your answer script. What you have to do is paraphrase this answer. So instead of saying theories of mathematics, which is 3 words, you have to reduce it to mathematical theories, which is 2 words. No more than 2 words and or a number. So the number is optional. So what happens is if you don't answer like this, so even if your answer is correct, you will be penalized for that because you did not follow the instructions of the question. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. The next question that I would like to discuss is true, false, and not given. Usually what they ask you to do is choose true if the question statement matches with what is being said in the passage. And if the question statement says the opposite of what is there in the passage, you're going to choose false. You're going to choose not given when there's nothing in the passage being discussed that is mentioned in the question. Most people are confused. They don't know which to choose, false or not given. Let me say that again. We only choose false when the statement in the question and the statement in the passage are direct opposite and clash. For example, in the passage they may tell you that language learning, this is taken from IELTS book 7. So you can, if you have that book, you can open to that book. So the passage may say that language learning will be easy and pleasant. But the question may say, language experience will be demanding. Now the key words are easy and pleasant and demanding. Demanding means something requires great efforts and is not that easy. So you can clearly see they are clashing, they are opposites. In this case, we will not choose not given, we are going to choose false. We are going to choose not given when the question's information is not mentioned in the passage whatsoever. So that would be my suggestion to you. Look for synonyms. So this answer is false. And for true, false, not given, you are going to look for synonyms. What are synonyms? Synonyms are words, are different words that have the same meaning. And you can also look for antonyms, which can indirectly help you sometimes. So by looking for synonyms and antonyms, the process of decision is going to be speeded up. Okay, now my third tip would be not to spend too much time on any particular question. If you come across a question which you find particularly difficult and you haven't found the answer yet, don't stick to it because you're killing time and you will only be given an hour to finish that reading passage. So my suggestion would be skip it, maybe circle it so that you can come back to it at the end and then move on to the others. Similarly, my next tip would be not to spend too much time on one passage. More often than not, what happens is candidates get stuck on the first or second passage and they spend a lot of time. They get lost and they lose track of time, which is why they'll spend a lot of time on the first or second passage, and in doing so, they submit an incomplete reading test. who knows, maybe the third passage was easier than the passage you spent your time on. So that's why my suggestion would be to divide your time. Now, in an earlier video we did, I discussed how there are 3 types of passages. So in the IELTS reading exam, one passage will be easy, one would be of medium difficulty, the other would be really difficult. And they don't really come in serial, so you can't say the first passage is the easiest. You can look into our Facebook page or our YouTube channel for that video where I explained how to spot which one is the easier passage and which one is the difficult passage. However, if you found out that this is an easier passage, what you're going to do is you're going to spend around 17 to 18 minutes on the easier passage, 20 minutes for the medium difficulty passage, and you're going to spend about 22 to 23 minutes on the difficult passage. That's how you should divide your time. Having said that, even though it's a reading exam, there is a writing section to it. What I mean is you still have to write down your answers. What you have to look out for is not to make spelling mistakes when you write your answers. For example, if you want to write down echoes in your answer script, so the correct spelling is this. But instead of this, if you write ECOES and miss out the H, no, even if your answer is right, they're going to penalize you for a spelling mistake. So look out for spelling mistakes. Next, I'm going to recommend you to read the question before you read the passage, because once you've read the passage and come to the question, you will find yourself rereading the passage. So always a good idea to read the passage first and then, read the question first and then read the passage. My last suggestion would be to use a pencil, because using a pencil you can make notes, you can highlight parts in the question paper. Even if you transfer your answer to the answer script, and after having done that you realize you've made a spelling mistake or you've written down the wrong answer, you can erase it and rewrite it with a pencil. With a pen you have to cut it, and it will just make your answer script messy, and you don't want that. So these are my general reading tips to make your reading module easier and to help you score higher. I hope this comes of help. Thank you so much.